Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you've never been. This is Living in Denver, Colorado. If I said that right, this is the smart guy who does all the stuff.
You got it, you got it.
Welcome to Living in Denver, Colorado. Today we're gonna get right into it. We are going to go over the pros and cons of living in Thornton, Colorado.
All right, guys, so as you probably know by now, we are the Mile High Property Brothers, Eli and my handy dandy partner, Will, and we are real estate brokers in Denver, Colorado, so we'll get to the video in 1 second. Movie, look at me.
We ain't going to no movie.
Way more important than we are. We'll get to the video in 1 second, but real quick, we are brokers in Denver, Colorado, so if you guys are planning on possibly moving here and maybe you're thinking about taking a visit, definitely hit us up, text the number below, give us a phone call. We love chatting with you guys. We hear from you guys all the time and we love it, so definitely hit us up. We're happy to answer any specific questions you may have.
Absolutely, and as much as we enjoy making these videos, we love more to help you guys with your real estate needs. Sometimes we even get calls when we're recording, which is kind of cool.
That's true. We actually just
hits my ego really
a
well. It's like, hey, cool. But with that being said, guys, we're gonna get right into it. What are the pros and cons of Thornton, Colorado?
All right, guys, so here we are sitting in the little area called the Denver Premium Outlets. It's an outlet center in Thornton, right off 136th and I-25, just a little bit east of that.
Very similar like the Castle Rock outlets. So it's outlet stores. I think everything, you've got like name brand stuff, just Coach behind us. There's Torian Birch and Michael Kors and Kate Spade, and if our significant others are watching, no, we're not buying you anything right now because we're focused on our job working.
That's right. We might hit the Under Armour store later though.
But very cool. However, it's not in Denver. It's north of Denver, and it's going to be resting inside of Thornton.
Yep. But that brings us to our first pro. There's a lot to do, surprisingly, with your family in Thornton, thanks to all the people that have been moving here. They've been doing a lot more development, and with development, they kind of take a look at who is moving to the area, and you have a lot of families moving to the area. So, like right behind us, we'll show some footage of it. There's a big area for your kids to play while you're doing some shopping. In addition to that, we have Waterworld. It's an iconic place in Colorado, and Topgolf, one of my favorite places not to go.
We suck at golf.
We're terrible at golf. However, for two guys that are terrible at golf, Topgolf is a super fun place to go.
Very cool, very recreational. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure you guys are looking at some B-roll right now as far as what a Topgolf is, but food is really good. It's recreational. It's pretty much a driving range with some entertainment to it. You've got some rooms that you can rent if it's corporate. You can hang out there with your family. It's a lot of fun. They open up at night. There's lights and some really cool stuff. And glad they added that out here because one of the cons that we were going to be talking about was just a lack of things to do in Thornton, Colorado. And we were literally going to stand on a prairie with prairie dogs and show how underdeveloped some of the areas are, but obviously it'd be a joke. So there still is a lack of a little bit of that stuff. You do have a handful of things you can do that are super fun. Obviously the fact that they are updating Thornton or finishing Thornton a little bit later than some of the other areas, they're doing it right. Some of the other areas around the Denver metro side, places in Arvada, even some places in Aurora, they took a little bit longer to get it right because they were so much newer. But now that there's a lot of just data for what people want within city limits, and now that they're doing it, you're getting these outlet stores right out of the gate. You're getting Topgolf right out of the gate. You're getting, Waterworld was already up here, but you're just getting the right things immediately, which means even though it's still a little bit underdeveloped on the north side, what they do have usually fits the bill for what you guys need.
Yeah, now population out here is about 130,000, which is a lot smaller compared to a lot of the other Colorado cities, but that is growing year after year after year. So that brings us to another pro, because what a lower population does is that allows more supply of homes, lower demand. For now, it is increasing, which means lower cost of homes overall. So
correct.
You're looking at about an average home price out here of about $230,000, which is probably the lowest of any of our videos that we've done. Keep in mind that does include condos and townhomes and multifamily homes like that.
All right, guys, let's get to one of the cons. We've been talking super awesome about Thornton. can't all be awesome, right? Who knows? It's subjective, obviously, to everyone's opinion. One of the cons, definitely a con for me, school districts, lower than average. Frankenstein. It got a Frankenstein. Him and I have young kids. Obviously, that's super important to us. Yeah. If it's not necessarily super important to you, if charter schools are okay, I know a lot of people are doing private schools and charter schools inside of the state of Colorado, so I wonder if the public side just gets a lower grade because a lot of people are just using the private schools or the charter schools as an alternative. It could also be because they're spread thin. As much as this is growing, maybe they don't have quite enough schools out here right now. Can't tell you why it got it, but it got it. Obviously, as a dad, a little bit concerning for me, depending on where I'm going to set down some roots. But if that does not apply to you, rental rates are super high. So we're going to tie that into a pro. So if you're looking at investment properties, believe it or not, even though the cost of purchasing a home is below the average of the state of Colorado here in Thornton, the renting is actually like 11 or 14% higher than the average rental everywhere else. And that means because there's a demand for renting out here. So if you're looking at an investment property in a nice area, even though school districts get a little bit of a lower score, still some phenomenal spots. Could have a good investment property if you choose to. All right, guys, one more con as we're kind of going through it, just to kind of go right in a row. Yeah. Crime rate is a little bit higher than the state average.
Yeah, I think they're at 11.
11% higher. Now, you do have some higher in North Aurora as well. So, you know, you've got some higher in like older Denver. So not sure why it's higher. Obviously, it'd be subjective to just my opinion. Some of the older areas, so older Thornton might have some higher crime there versus the newer section. So definitely do your research. I know it's a con because the crime rate is higher. However, it's very subjective also to the area of Thornton that you're going to be in. Just do your homework as far as if you're looking at Thornton or any other city, what part of that city are you looking at, and make sure that when you're looking at data, figure out if it applies to that area specifically or not.
All right, now, if you're thinking about moving out to Thornton, you're probably going to be working somewhere around Thornton or Denver. A lot of people in Thornton actually work in Denver because it is obviously a much larger city and Thornton is super close. So what they've done is they've created really good light rail systems and just public transit that connects Thornton and Denver really, really well, as opposed to some of the other outlying cities like Parker or Highlands Ranch doesn't connect to Denver quite as well. So if you are going to be living in Thornton or you're thinking about it and you're working in Denver, you're going to have a really easy time getting to work, even if you're not taking public transportation. You're right off 136 or 104.
I-25 south.
I-25 south, boom. That takes
Show it
you
on the
right
map.
to Denver.
Boom, right to Denver.
Yeah, so real easy commute if you guys are curious about that at all.
All right, guys, there you have it. Those are the initial pros and cons to living in Thornton, Colorado. With this ever-growing city, obviously we'll have a lot more to say 6 months from now, a year from now, as it continues to grow. When we have some data, we'll have some things continued that we will have to say. But for now, wrapping up, that's what we've got. Another pro, too, like I'm not sure if you guys are very curious with national parks and museums up in Wyoming. I know it's a different state. However, you're not too far from that. I think you're less than an hour, right at an hour from the border of Wyoming. A lot of cool stuff to do out there. Yeah, Fort Collins is super cool. If you like fireworks, for 4th of July stuff, they only sell so many things in Colorado. If you want like the big boy stuff, that's
Frontier Day, Cheyenne.
Not encouraging you to do anything illegal, but a lot of cool things as far as just being a little bit more north of the city and your proximity to Wyoming and some things that you can do. So just add that to the pro. But with that being said, guys, do your research, figure out what area works best for you. A lot of pros here, a couple cons. Definitely the pros outweigh the cons. Super excited to see Thornton continue to grow and what that looks like for as far as equity and owning a home. So with that being said, if you guys have any questions, I know he's eager to talk to you. That's why I keep not taking a breath.
I can hear it.
Look at the number down below. Throw us a text message, throw us a phone call. We are the ones that answer the calls and reply to text messages. If there's something that you need, we are licensed brokers, like we said in the beginning. So as much as we love making these videos, we would love more to help you guys with your questions and your specific real estate needs.
Ron Burgundy comment there at the end.
Stay classy.
They've done studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
And if you guys haven't done yet, we come out with videos every Tuesday and Thursday. We cover all parts of Colorado, so make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. That'll give you a little alert every time our little faces come on every Tuesday and Thursday morning. Great way to start your day, right?
Like it if you like it. Subscribe, share it.
Even if
whatever
you kind of like it,
we
go and
appreciate
like
it.
If you're on the fence, fall this way.
See you guys.
See ya.